Hello guys, I'm back from another video, and today we're talking about what if Deku was an Oni. So in the last video we talked about how after Izuku woke up from his whole, getting knocked out thing, he would basically forget everything, including being an Oni. So after encountering Kinoko, aka the Mushroom Girl, he would be brought down to the lower floor to have breakfast. And he would also meet Ibarra. And also, after maybe about 5 years, they would have almost like a family connection. Especially if it comes to, let's just say Kinoko's father. He's basically just like a father figure to him, and also for her mother. So, and recently he also sort of had a crush on Kinoko, but Ibarra also has a bit of a crush on Izuku. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. So, after their final day in middle school, they would start leaving as they got attacked by the sludge villain, similar to Kanon. So, after defending themselves and also for Izuku would also use his brand new technique known as Korai no Sorugi, which is basically like his regular old Ishuna Daitensho, but he decided to rename it because he vaguely knows how to do it for some reason. Maybe because he's sort of getting his memories back. Kind of. So after that, All Might would arrive and save them, as All Might would basically just fly away. So, after they left, they decided to go back home, as that was basically the end of this episode. So, let's talk about what happens next. And also, it seems that all of you decide to go for a multi-ship. What do I mean by this? Well, apparently all of you guys decided to go for both Izuku with Ibarra and Kinoko. So this is going to be the ship for this, well, what if. So yeah, let's actually continue with the actual what if. God dang it. So, Izuku would be in the backyard basically training on his, swordsmanship. He would also start using his sword in conjunction with his Kanabo, aka the metal club. So, after a while of training, a certain girl would arrive, being Ibarra, as Ibarra would say this, "Hello there, Izuku," as Izuku would say this, "Oh, hello," as he would put his gigantic-ass Kanabo on his shoulder, as he would look at her basically shirtless, because at the time he was training a lot and he had a lot of sweat on his shirt. As for Ibarra, she would somewhat start blushing, as she would say this, "Oh, hello there, and how are you today?" As Izuku would say this, "Don't worry, I'm okay, and besides, I'm just doing some training to get ready for the entrance exam for UA." As she would say this, "I can clearly see that, but why are you..." As she would start seeing his chest, specifically, as she would say this, as Izuku would say this, "Hey, is there something wrong?" As she would say this, "No, it's nothing, but, can I ask you about something really important?" As Izuku would say this, "Why?" "I can do whatever you want. I am your best friend." As she would say this, "Yeah, best friend." As she would say this, "I want to maybe train with you, because it's maybe in a few weeks until it's finally time for the entrance exam." As Izuku would say this, "Fine, sure. So what time are we going to be training?" As she would say this, "Oh, maybe about maybe at the park?" As Izuku would say this, "Sure." As he would say this, "Well, do you want anything else?" As she would say this, "Maybe after your training we can, I don't know, hang out?" As he would say this, "Sure." So after a while of training, he would go back inside the room, or more specifically in the I guess you could say it's kind of like the dining room, but I guess it's kind of similar to that. So he would go into the dining room and see Ibarra basically sitting on a chair. As for, well, Kineko. Wait for a second. So, Kineko is basically talking to Ibarra, as Kineko would say this. Oh, hello Izuku. Are you done with training? As he would say this. Yep, pretty much. As she would say this. Can you at least wear a shirt? And besides, I'm basically like your sister, so... As he would say this. Oh, yeah. Remember, Izuku still has a bit of a crush on, Kineko. I also almost forgot. I forgot to say this in the last episode. I want all of you guys to pick a ship for what if Deku never got one for all. Or never got one for all, or whatever. So, I'll just be picking the girls for you, and you have to vote on it. Or I'm just gonna be making a post on, on my community tab. In this case, these girls are Mei Hatsume, what's her name? Yeah, Mount Lady, and finally we have Mirko. So these are the three girls that you're going to be picking, or you can go for all of them, or just two of each, or whatever, I don't care. Just pick whatever girl you like. Please, at least not something super blatantly obvious, like for example, like Mirko. I mean, she's cute, and she's one of my top favorite waifus, but still. Anyway, so let's just continue the what if. So, wait for a second. So, he would say this. Yeah, I should probably wear a brand new shirt. After putting his, really sweaty shirt on, the laundry basket, he would start wearing a simple black t-shirt with, this almost like skull insignia. As he would say this. Damn, these horns are quite annoying to deal with. So, after getting downstairs, as he would see Ibarra, as Ibarra would say this. So, can we please hang out now? As Izuku would say this. Sure then. So, after getting out of the house, we go to a different perspective, being Kineko. As Kineko would say this. Oh, why did they even say that to Izuku? Oh, God, I feel like an idiot. As Kineko's mom, or Izuku's mom technically, would say this. Oh, what is it, Kineko? You look kind of sad. As she would say this. Well, Mom? Please don't make it sound weird, but I sort of had a bit of a crush on Izuku for a while now. As she would say this. Really? As she would say this. Yeah, ever since I met him, he sort of changed. And also, you remember the time where we, or at least I, got bullied by those girls? As she would say this. Oh yeah, I heard those boys were hurting you because they didn't, accept it about, your whole thing. As she would say this. Yeah, that guy was trying to get onto me, but I didn't really like him. And then he tried to, as she would say this. Don't worry. He's gone now. And you had a crush on your kind of brother? As she would say this. Yeah, but still, he saved me. Saved me from that man. As she would say this. Don't worry. You're safe now. And besides, if you were to have a crush on him, well, I guess he could understand why. And besides, I heard that he also has a crush on you. As when she heard that, she would say this. Wait, really? As she would say this. Yeah, and don't worry, I'm okay with that, relationship. Besides, you're technically not blood related, so it won't be... And please don't say it in the comments like... please don't say in the comments like... Step bro or something like that. Oh, god damn it. But still, I will definitely want to hear your comments about that part. Anyway, so... after talking to, Kineko for a while now, let's go back to Izuku basically hanging out with Ibara. So, Izuku is basically walking with Ibara as they go to church to go pray. After basically praying, they would get out as they start going into the park. Basically just like eating maybe like popsicles. As she would say this, "It feels quite relaxing, Izuku." As Izuku would say this, "Yeah, it is." uh, I literally forgotten that, you know, as she would say this, "Yeah, I know. You're not technically a part of that family, but you are technically family now. Even Kineko's considered you as your brother." As you would say this, "Yeah, I know, but, hey, I heard about, like, this rumor." As she would say this, "What rumor?" As he would say this, um, "I heard that you sorta had a crush on me. Especially from one of the girls that, you know, kind of hated you." As she would say this, "Wait, what do you mean by that?" As he would say this, "I heard that you kind of fall in love with me or something like that. Or at least that's what the rumors say." As she would say this, uh, um, "Yeah, it's true. I kind of fell in love with you on first sight. You, you were, um," as he would say this, "you were what?" As he starts becoming closer to her, as she would say this, um, "Well, after you sort of saved me." As he would say this, "Oh yeah, I remember now. So let's go into a little flashback." So, during their time in middle school, they would also encounter a certain, bully. Or in this case, a couple of mean girls. You probably know those type of people. You probably know them. So, these mean girls were actually pretty popular in their school for their looks only. And the reason why they only had good grades is because, they sort of, bribed some, teachers. Or at least the ones that were men. Please don't ask about anything else. So, they were completely assholes. Like, they're complete assholes to any girl that tries to, get in their turf. And then one day, Ibara sort of tread that line as they started bullying her. And then Izuku stepped in. So, when Izuku heard that these girls were hurting Ibara, he would get mad as he would go towards one of them. After basically having a bit of a confrontation with them, they would basically bring in their, big man. What do I mean by this? Well, the main mean girl, which I'm just gonna be calling Sakura for this part, she would bring in her, boyfriend, which is a pretty big delinquent in their school. So, when they got into a fight, the teachers would arrive, including the ones that were basically having, um, you know, getting bribed by her. So, after a brutal fight, which, by the way, was not even a fight. It was more of a, like, he was more of a, like, a slaughter. It's more of a slaughter than anything else. Because Izuku just beats him to death. Not nearly to death, but more like he's almost beaten almost to death. And it was painful for him. He barely looks like what happened. Like, his face, before, it looks normal. But after, it looks like almost a part of his face is like bloated and shit. And also, he sort of bribed some people to find out why she's getting, good grades. And it turns out that she's been, let's just say having some fun with these teachers to, get good grades. Oh boy. And let's just say the school kind of got mad at these specific teachers and that mean girl, and they were sort of, let off. What do I mean by this? Well, those teachers fired. As for her, she was expelled. So, as we move back to the present, as Ezekiel would say this, yeah, that guy kinda deserved it. As Ibarra would say this, yeah, and thank you for everything. And yes, I sort of do kinda like you. As he would say this, so it is true. As she would say this, yeah, so, can you come a bit closer? As he would say this, sure, why? As he would get a, well, peck on the cheek. As he would say this, um, as she would say this, don't worry, we can do a little bit more when we get married. Besides, if we do anything else that's, a bit immoral, I'll probably never get to heaven. As he would say this. Anyway, we should probably be leaving now, because it's probably gonna get dark. As she would say this. Yes, agreed. So, after getting back home, pretty much safely, being, Ibarra, he would start going back home himself, being Izuku. As, while he's walking through the streets, he heard a scream. As this scream would be, "Has somebody help! My purse!" As he would hear two men saying, "Hey, give us the money already! And if you don't, we're just gonna have to murder you." As when Izuku heard this, he would say to himself, because I'm going to become a new hero, or at least, wait for a second. I should probably do this because I'm going to be a student at UA, but as he would jump out of nowhere, as he would bring out his sword, which, I kind of forgotten to say this part, but he's able to teleport his sword, but not his kanabo, so as he would grab his sword, as he would say this, "Hey, you," as those villains, or burglars would say this, "Who the hell are you?" As he would say this, "Sorry, but give that purse back to that lady over there." As the one would say this, "Are you a hero?" As he would say this, "Well, I'm gonna be a hero in training, but I guess you can say that I'm a hero." As the men would say this, "Why you?" As one man would start growing extra arms and extra faces. Well, he basically has like an Ashura quirk. And if you don't know what are Ashuras, well, they're basically like rage-fueled demigods of Hindu mythology. And the other man would shoot out flaming balls of fire. As he would start throwing them at Izuku, Izuku would start blocking all of these, well, fireballs. As for the guy, he would start charging towards him and gets ready to punch him. Izuku would, well, just like slice both of his arms off, mostly the ones that were extra, as he would leave two left. As he would say this, "My arms! My arms!" As his other face would say this, "You little shit!" As he would say this, "Little shit?" You make me laugh. As he would say this, he would scream out, "Ishina Taitancho!" As he would basically just like slice all of these, fireballs that were being thrown at him by this fireball villain. As Ezekiel would think, "Wait, I thought it was supposed to be..." As he would say, "Whatever, I should probably protect this woman over here." As one of them would say this, being the, Ashura villain, he would say, "Do anything else or kill this woman over here." As the fireball villain would throw a fireball at him, as he would slice the fireball, as this villain would say, "Hey, I told you, if you don't want her to get killed, then don't. And I mean don't. You dare do anything. And just let my friend beat you to a bloody pulp." As this fireball villain would start getting ready to burst into flames, or burst Izuku into flames. As Izuku would say this, "Well, shit, I can't do anything else." as he would hear something in the distance, as one of the villains would be grabbed from behind by a weird-looking gray scarf, as he would be beaten as he would get knocked out. And as for the other villain, he would start throwing fireballs at the another, person in this alleyway, as he would be defeated in an instant because something happened to his quirk. It seems to have been deactivated or something like that. As this man, or whatever he is, would say this: "Hey kid, maybe next time don't be the hero. Let the real professionals do it. Besides, if you're actually going to go to UA, maybe do it next time." As he would say this: "Oh, sorry about this. But mind telling me who you are?" As he would say this: "The name's Eraserhead. But people just don't even remember my name all that much." As he would say this: "Really?" As he would say this: "Yeah, really." It kinda pisses me off every single time, but I don't really care anymore. Anyway, kid, if you're trying to be the hero, and if you're actually gonna go to UA, maybe next time don't bring a sword to a fireball fight." As he would say this: "Who are you? Like, who the hell are you even? I never even seen you before. Are you some sort of like underground hero or something?" As he would say this: "I guess you're kind of right. The name's Eraserhead. And, kid, you might be good for UA, but for now, just stick to being a normal kid for now." As he would jump away. As for the woman, she would say this: "Thank you, young man." As he would say this: "Sorry about that." He would say this: "It's no problem. I'm just being a hero in training for now, and I'm maybe playing away." As this woman would say this: "You'll be a great hero, and whatever that man said, it doesn't matter to me. After all, you did save me. You're my hero." As he would say this: "Thank you, miss." As she would say this: "Now, run along and go back to your house." As he would say this: "Thank you, ma'am." As he would start going back home. After he got back home, his well-adopted parents would be worried about what happened to him, including the, blood marks on his clothes, and also his clothes being, like, ripped, and also, kind of dirty. After telling them what happened, they would be kind of been, a bit angry, but they still think that, Izuku should just maybe calm down next time and maybe just, like, let the heroes do it. As for, a certain girl, basically like Kinoko, she would be in her room as she would say this: "Oh, Izuku, what are you doing here?" Izuku would enter as Izuku would say this: Hey, are you planning to, I don't know, maybe like train?" As she would say this: "Yeah, I may be planning to train tomorrow, but don't worry about it." As Izuku would sit next to her, as he would say this: "So, do you want to do anything? Maybe, like, hang out next time?" As she would say this: "I guess I do have some time to maybe hang out. But, for now, you should probably get some sleep. After all, you did, well, cause a bit of trouble last time." As he would say this: "You heard?" As she would say this: "Yep. After all, my floor is basically paper thin, and I can clearly hear what is happening downstairs." As he would say this: I guess so." As she would say this: "Okay, bye." As Izuku would say this: "Yeah, bye." So, after he got back to his room, he would basically fall asleep. So, yeah, this is gonna be the end of this episode. And so, this is gonna be the end of this episode, so yeah. So, before you guys leave, I want all of you to guys vote on what is going to be the ship for What If Deku Never Got One for All, which, if you don't know, which is also one of my other series if you're new here. So yeah, these are the three girls, which are Mei Hatsume, Mount Lady, and Miracle. So all of you guys are going to be picking in the comments, or I'm just going to be making a post on, well, on my community tab. So yeah, so I hope you liked the video, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.